Good morning, everyone. Welcome to earnings call of Polyplex for Quarter 2 2020. I and Ashutosh will walk you through our earnings. We'll talk about the company, our industry, our value chain, and then Ashutosh will walk you through the financials of the company. So we again had a robust and a strong quarter on the back of improving demand supply, narrowing of demand supply gap, on improving operating efficiencies and ramp up of our Indonesian investment. So we saw a strong growth of 12% year on year of top line, and bottom line improvement in terms of EBITDA expansion of 49.3% YOY. We also continue to pursue a strategy of growing our top line and bottom line. So we have announced an expansion of our BOPET film capacity in the US. This would be the second line in US for Polyplex. So I'll talk in brief about the group. So we are a 32-year-old company in manufacturing, sales, and distribution of plastic films. BOPET films are core business line for Polyplex, but we have concentrically diversified into other based films, other plastic-based films, which are complementing our product basket. We are number one producer of BOPET films in Europe and Southeast Asia, and we are fifth largest globally. We have a far-reaching presence globally with access to 75 countries and almost 2,000 customers. Polyplex Thailand is a flagship for Polyplex Group, with 75% of the revenues being generated by Polyplex Thailand. Polyplex Indonesia, Polyplex Turkey, Polyplex USA are all 100% owned subsidiaries of Polyplex Thailand. We also have invested through our subsidiary EcoBlue into post-consumer and post-industrial recycling, which is 66.5% owned by Polyplex. And we have a trading and distribution company in Europe by the name of PEBV in Netherlands. So to talk about the value chain that we are a part of, we are a part of petrochemical value chain. But if you would look at the first three columns, which are the fossil fuels, basic petrochemicals, and resin, these three are commodity, let's say, sections of the value chain. We are into downstream of this value chain, producing polyester film, and we further convert the films through functional coatings and other kind of downstream activities. And these can be clearly termed as specialty for the petrochemical value chain, as whatever we produce and whatever we deliver to our customer is all customized, unlike the upper section of the value chain where everything is produced to stock and traded as a commodity in open market. So if we look at our product portfolio of Polyplex, 66% of our products are standard in nature, whereas 34% of our product portfolio can be termed as specialty, delivering higher margins for the group and also helping to even out the cyclicality or volatility in the markets. If you go back a few years, this 34% share of specialty films would have been somewhere around 10 to 15%. And we have been consciously investing into our specialty product line. By applications, the industry as such has been classified into packaging and industrial very broadly. So packaging constitutes of food as well as non-food packaging. So with our investment in Indonesia, we have almost 74% of our products going into flexible packaging and 26% of our products going into industrial and electrical applications. It goes without saying, industrial applications obviously provide better margins and also stability to the margins. So this slide gives you a brief of what are the applications of polyester film. One would come across polyester film in everyday life, one way or other. If you look at the devices that we use, LCD, LED televisions, mobile phones, or let's say any other white goods, there is a polyester film used. For instance, there are 6 or 7 layers of polyester film in LCD or LED television that we see. Then, if you talk about solar panels, if you talk about construction, if you talk about steel industry, polyester film is used in one way or other, either for protection or for transfer. Coming to packaging, the packaging industry is further classified as food packaging and non-food packaging. Within non-food packaging, the primary consumption application is healthcare and personal care. So 60% of our application can be termed as food and 40% can be termed as non-food. So Polyplex over the years, and I would say specifically over last 10 years, has actively pursued a strategy to differentiate from competition by expanding a global footprint. So we are present, we pursued a strategy of nearshoring and onshoring, and we are present in 3 continents, and I would say 5 continents if we consider all the rep offices and trading and distribution network that we have. We have been expanding our product line not only within polyester films, but also concentrically. We expanded into CPP films, into BOPP film, into blown polypropylene, blown polyethylene films, and we went into downstream integration by functionally coating our films for various packaging as well as industrial applications. We have a strong supply chain that we have been able to set up over a period of time, delivering highest value to our customers. Innovation has been at core of our strategy, and we keep coming out with new products almost every year. Here we follow a strategy of having a pipeline of products because we believe any strategy or any product will have a lifetime of anywhere between 6 months to a couple of years. Now coming to strategic direction that Polyplex has taken for next 4 to 5 years. Currently, we are pursuing a strategy to be one-stop shop for a variety of applications. To name a few, for instance, I talked about solar panels. In solar panels, there are 3 layers of plastic films used as backsheet for the purpose of insulation. 2 layers are different kinds of polyester film, and 1 layer is polyethylene film. We have been able to invest into R&D, and now we are in a position to produce all the 3 layers for solar panels. Similarly, if we look at the construction industry, in construction industry, polyester film and other plastic films are used for different purposes. For instance, polyester film as well as polyethylene films are used as shingles for the roof. Polyester film and metallized polyester film is used also for insulation. And we are present in construction segment very strongly, and we cover 100% of the 100% of portfolio of plastic films required to cater to this industry. In next 2 to 3 years, we pursue an ambition to be the solution provider for packaging industry. And also we intend to have a stronger footprint in industrial segment. Today we have almost 30 to 35% presence in industrial segment in terms of our product portfolio. But our intention is to expand our presence into multiple applications, which we are not there as of now. To bring to the notice of audience, as far as industrial applications are concerned, it takes almost anywhere between 1 year to 5 years to qualify into any industrial applications. So whatever efforts the company has put in over last 5 to 7 years have now fructified, and we have a strong and a wide presence across 9 to 10 industry segments. But we are investing to grow this presence further. 5 to 6 years from now, we aim to contribute to the society by coming out as a leader for providing solution to sustainable packaging and sustainable solutions for industrial applications. So we are pursuing as Polyplex a three-pronged strategy, namely growth, operational excellence, and innovation. So when I talk about growth, we are talking about growing our global footprint. Our recent investment, which we have announced in the US, is a step in that direction and a big step in that direction. With this investment, we most likely would be the single largest producer in US for packaging films. We also intend to grow our high value add product mix, and we continue to invest year on year, anywhere between 20 to 40 million US dollars to expand our product line, which can help stabilize our margins and also expand our margins. We also intend to grow our sustainable product, and a very recent investment that we have announced is through our subsidiary EcoBlue, where we would be collecting the post-consumer PET bottles, cleaning them, washing them, and converting them into food-grade resin, which can be used for PET film production, which can be used for bottle production, which can be used for high-end fiber applications. Operation excellence is something that Polyplex has been pursuing for several years now. At all our manufacturing sites, we follow something which is called TPM, Total Productive Maintenance. It's a Japanese system, which ensures that we continue to improve our operation, improve our processes, and bring about changes which can position us as the top class, world class manufacturing company. In terms of innovation, there's one product line that I would like to talk about. That's our PET films. Now, here we have now been able to develop films which have close to 90% PCR content. Now, 90% PCR content, and we are working towards 100% PCR content. What does it effectively mean for the industry, and what does it mean for the environment? Now, polyester film, as you have seen in the value chain, uses PTA and MEG as raw material for producing resin, which is used in turn to produce polyester film. Now, this is PTA and MEG is coming from fossil fuels. If we are able to promote 100% rPET PCR films, that effectively means 0% of fossil fuel will be used to produce polyester film. And this will be a big step towards a circular economy and a sustainable future for polyester film industry and also plastic film industry. Now, to talk about global footprint, we are present in 5 countries with 6 manufacturing plants. If we talk about Polyplex Thailand, we have presence in Thailand, in Turkey, in USA, and in Indonesia. And now we are expanding further in USA with the second line. Now, this helps us not only to diversify our customers, but have a deeper penetration in the regional and the local markets. Now, this local presence, this regional presence helps us to provide supply security to our customers, and also benefits for the company in terms of premiums that we command being a local producer. It also results in faster turnaround time for our customers and lower logistic costs. And it also kind of protects the company from any anti-dumping or let's say tariff barriers which may be imposed by a country on some other countries. When I talked about continuously investing into high value add product line, here we present the very recent investments that we have made. In Thailand, we have expanded our silicon coated film capacity. We have invested into offline coating facility, which is catering to flexible as well into flexible packaging as well as industrial applications, both in Thailand and Turkey. We have invested into holographic films, which fundamentally goes into decor applications. We expanded into metallized films, which caters to the barrier film industry, and blown films, which are used both for flexible packaging and industrial applications in Thailand and in Turkey. So this goes on to show the strong commitment that the company has towards stabilizing the margins and expanding the margins, and not only focusing on the top line growth. I already have talked about our commitment to the environment as a company, and this is not something new to Polyplex. World has only started to talk about marine litter and menace of littering for last 2 to 3 years. But Polyplex invested into recycling capacity through our subsidiary EcoBlue way back in 2013. And EcoBlue is into post-consumer and post-industrial waste recycling. And the converted product in form of resin is used for a host of applications, both into packaging as well as industrial. And we intend to invest further in the product line and also into recycling capacity through EcoBlue. And as I mentioned, we have recently announced expansion through EcoBlue for recycling PET bottles into resin, which will be used for a variety of applications. Operation excellence innovation has been core to our strategy, and the audience would have noticed that over the last 3 to 4 years, we have debottlenecked our existing capacities to produce almost 5 to 10% more over the nameplate capacity that we had for these assets. We are also continuously upgrading our older assets to produce high value add and specialty films from those assets, thereby differentiating from our customers and also offsetting the disadvantage we have on the older assets in terms of cost efficiencies. We also continue to invest into reduction of energy consumption, reduction of water consumption used for our processing. We are actively right now pursuing solar energy for our plants in Thailand and in Turkey. In innovation, we continue to expand our product line and have a long and a strong pipeline of products. And I can comfortably say that we have enough products in those pipelines to take us to next 2 to 3 years of new products every year, every quarter. To update you on the projects that we have announced over last year or couple of years. So we have in Thailand 5 high value add projects in progress, and they are all on time and would be implemented within cost. We have announced a brownfield expansion in the US, and it will take almost 24 months to realize this project. We have another 5 projects going on in Turkey. They are also to expand the high value add product line for Polyplex Group and also diversify our product portfolio in Turkey. In Indonesia, we have a BOPP project, which is a large base film capacity expansion project underway. And also we are implementing a project to expand our metallizing capacity and to expand our high value add metallized film portfolio. Now, to talk more about the BOPP project, which is coming up in Indonesia, the project is on time and will be delivered as scheduled. Somewhere around July to August, the plant will be operational, and we expect the project to be within the costs, within the capex stipulated. And the US project, as I mentioned, the capex is of $83 million, excluding the working capital. If we include working capital, it will be around $103 million. And with this, we would effectively be the largest thin film producer for flexible for packaging in the US. Ashutosh, I would like you to walk through the audience for the financial performance.
Thank you so much, Kunamit, and a very warm welcome to all the participants of this setup day. So moving on to financials, just one second. As Kunamit mentioned, we had a very good Q2 as well. Our operating, our normal EBITDA margin was 28%, and in Q2. And in H1, it was 28.6%. If we see our sales revenue on a year-on-year basis, it grew by 12%, mostly because of our Indonesia capacity, which was partially offset by lower raw material. Our normalized net profit is higher by 65% on year-on-year, and normalized EBITDA was higher by 50%. On a quarter-by-quarter basis, our sales was broadly flat. Normalized net profit was lower by 2%, and normalized EBITDA was lower by 4%. It is important to mention that Q1 results saw a very sharp decline in raw material, which resulted in abnormal high margins. So Q2 is more stable now because we didn't see a lot of significant sharp movement in raw material. So yeah, moving on. This slide tells our spread or value addition, which is basically sales price minus raw material. If you see, our VA is quite stable except this period where we saw a very sharp movement in raw material. And this is mainly because of our focus on cost reduction as well as focus on specialty product, as Kunamit mentioned. It helps in stabilizing the margins. Moving on, this is a breakup of our total expenses. As you must have observed, we had a significant unrealized forex loss this quarter because of depreciation of IDR and USD. Otherwise, our costs were broadly same across quarters on YTD basis as well. Moving on, normalized EBITDA, as I mentioned, it was very good at 28%. In Q1, it was 29.2%. In last year Q2, it was 21%. If we talk about H1 result, our normalized EBITDA margin was 28.6% versus 21.7% last year. As you must be aware that we are normalizing our reported financials for FX gains losses because it is a very high impact item and mostly it is on unrealized basis on the foreign currency loan taken by the different entities. This slides mentions the contribution by specialty films, which is our focus area. As you can see, our EBITDA from specialty, incremental EBITDA from specialty business was 500 million, which has gone to 1.4 billion in last 5-6 years. Volume is growing slowly and steadily because the standard film is very good, and we expect a good increase in going forward because of all the focus and new investment which we are making, focusing on specialty films. Net profit and normalized net profit. One can observe that our reported net profit was 1.2 billion in Q1, and there was a sharp decline in reported net profit, which was 300 million this quarter. But if we analyze the financial in more detail, we will see that there was a FX gain, mostly unrealized last quarter, which is a net loss this quarter. If we normalize the reported numbers for this foreign currency FX gains losses, our EBITDA for our normal net profit normalized was 818 million in last quarter, which is at 802 this quarter. So 2% decline. This compares with 487 million of Q2 last year. On YTD basis, our normalized reported profit has gone up to 1.6 billion versus 1.1 billion last year. That is from 15% normalized net profit margin to 21% net profit margin. Because of our healthy financial performance, in spite of all these major capexes, our debt equity has been consistently reducing, which is at 0.02%. And EPS also is reflecting the net profit performance. Effective tax rate is quite low, as we have mentioned, the reasons we have mentioned in the updates. ROE is also reflecting the strong performance, which was 22%, ROC was 22% last quarter, and on YTD basis, it is 21.4%. Dividend yield was 4.4%, 4.2% in 18-19, and this year I think this does not include interim dividend which we have factored in. So, yeah. This is the trend of normalized EBITDA and our estimates for Q3. So we expect a fairly good Q3 as well. Attention is invited to these forward-looking statements because we have made certain assumptions on this forecast EBITDA, and yeah, it carries certain risk. So thank you for your time once again. Maybe we can open for Q&A session now.
So I'll take this question. There's a question about the expansion of margins in China in October, November. Okay, so yes, there is a strong increase in the prices and the margins in China. There are several reasons for this. As we have been talking in the past set opportunity days as well, there have been no investment into polyester film in China since 2014. So obviously, demand-supply gap has been narrowing in China with every passing quarter, every passing year. And the Chinese capacity utilization factors have improved quite significantly, and we expect the CUF to be around 80 to 85% currently. And 80 to 85% capacity utilization is almost 100% capacity utilization for this industry. So that way, narrowing of demand-supply gap is one strong reason for this improvement on margins that we are seeing every passing quarter. Another reason is the Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year is there on 15th or 14th of February. Now, preceding Chinese New Year, for 2 to 3 months, the demand in Chinese market is quite strong, and we observe this almost every year. And so, with let's say with the narrowing demand-supply gap and the Chinese New Year preparation, there is definitely a tightness in the market in China, which is reflected in the price as well as the margins. Now, whether this is, we are seeing the impact of this positively in the markets that we operate in. We do see the impact in Southeast Asia because China sets the baseline margins or let's say baseline profitability on the commodity or the standard films for the standard films in Southeast Asia. And there have been a significant reduction in exports from China into Southeast Asia, which has helped us to keep the margins steady and stable despite very weak and very low raw materials and low raw material price. And also we may see a slight improvement in the margins and let's say the prices in Southeast Asia for month of November and December. However, this has no impact in Europe and the US because there is hardly any presence of Chinese competition in these two markets. So we don't foresee any impact, positive or negative in future from the players in China. I hope I've been able to answer this question.
คำถามแรกนะครับจากทางด้านของนะครับท่านผู้ลงทุนนะครับก็คือว่ามีการรายงานเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของราคาของแผ่นฟิล์มในจีนนั้นเพิ่มขึ้นนะครับก็ทางด้านของในช่วงเดือนตุลาคมเดือนพฤศจิกายนที่ผ่านมานะครับค่อนข้างสูงทีเดียวถ้าเปรียบเทียบกับราคาของในเดือนกันยายนนะครับในขณะที่ราคาของวัตถุดิบนั้นก็ลดลงเล็กน้อยเลยนะครับท่านผู้ลงทุนก็เลยมีคำถามว่านะครับจะเห็นการเพิ่มขึ้นของราคาในตลาดนะครับที่ทางด้านของ Polyplex นั้นมีการประกอบการอยู่หรือไม่ในเอเชียในยุโรปแล้วก็ในทางด้านของอเมริกาเหนือนะครับทางด้านของคำตอบนะครับจากทางด้านของท่านผู้บริหารนะครับก็คือเหตุผลนะครับก็คือจะเห็นได้ว่าทางด้านของนะครับช่องว่างระหว่างทางด้านของอุปสงค์และอุปทานในตลาดในประเทศจีนนั้นก็คือว่ามีช่องโหว่ที่ลดลงไปเรื่อยๆนะครับเนื่องจากไม่มีการลงทุนในกำลังการผลิตใหม่ในประเทศจีนตั้งแต่ปี 2014 เรื่อยมานะครับแล้วก็มีอัตราการใช้กำลังการผลิตที่สูงขึ้นเรื่อยๆนะครับ 80-85% ทีเดียวนะฮะและก็ทางด้านของตัวในเรื่องของอุปสงค์หรือความต้องการในส่วนของแผ่นฟิล์มเนี่ยก็ค่อนข้างที่จะสูงทีเดียวนะครับในช่วงก่อนที่จะมีการเตรียมความพร้อมในช่วงตรุษจีนของประเทศจีนนะครับซึ่งก็จะเกิดขึ้นในเดือนกุมภาพันธ์นะครับทำให้ทางด้านของตลาดนั้นมีความตรึงตัวและก็ทำให้ราคารวมทั้งทางด้านของ margin ของอุตสาหกรรมแผ่นฟิล์มนะครับในประเทศจีนนั้นอยู่ในอัตราที่สูงครับถามว่ามีผลกระทบอะไรกับทางด้านของ Polyplex นะครับในภูมิภาคนี้หรือไม่นะครับถ้าในภูมิภาคนี้นะครับก็ผลกระทบนั้นก็จะทำให้ทางด้านของราคาและก็ทางด้านของ margin ของทางด้านของแผ่นฟิล์มของ Polyplex นั่นก็มีความเสถียรนะครับในช่วงเดือนพฤศจิกายนเดือนธันวาคมนะครับแต่ว่าทางด้านของในตลาดในทางด้านของยุโรปและอเมริกาเหนือนั้นไม่มีผลกระทบใดๆนะครับThe second question is that the company has the plan to invest more in the next year or not please
Okay, so company has already we have already announced an investment in the US, which is a large investment of $103 million. We, as we have mentioned in past, also we keep scouting for opportunities for expanding our base film capacities, contributing to the top line, and also we are on a lookout for expanding our asset base and product line for high value add and specialty films. So we would for sure have more investments into expanding our asset base for the specialty films, and we are on a lookout for expanding our base film capacities globally.
ทางด้านของนะครับในเรื่องของแผนการลงทุนนะครับอย่างที่ได้ทราบอยู่แล้วนะครับว่ามีการลงทุนนะครับก็คือมากกว่า100ล้านเหรียญสหรัฐอเมริกานะครับที่ทางด้านการของสหรัฐอเมริกาแล้วก็ทางด้านของบริษัทนั้นก็ยังมองหาช่องทางการลงทุนอยู่ตลอดนะครับในเรื่องของทางด้านของกำลังการผลิตนะครับในการที่จะมีการผลิตแผ่ ผ่นฟิล์มนะครับพิเศษเฉพาะทางรวมทั้งการด้านของการที่จะมองหาช่องทางอื่นๆนะครับในการลงทุนเพื่อมุ่งเน้นนะครับในเรื่องของการที่จะปรับปรุงประสิทธิภาพนะครับของบริษัทครับ And the next question is that the investor would like to know the impact of COVID-19 pandemic to the company, please.
Okay, that's a very genuine concern. Very few industries have been able to not only survive the pandemic and also flourish during the pandemic. Our industry is one of them, and a very simple reason for that is as far as packaging applications are concerned, most of the product that our company produces goes into consumer staple applications, which is food application as well as non-food application to personal care and hygiene, as we talked about earlier. The company has not been impacted adversely by COVID pandemic. In fact, despite the sliding margins, and we have always talked about that as sliding raw material, as we have always talked about the industry being a raw material pass-through. So whenever there is a decline in raw material, our prices would go down, or if the raw material increases, the prices would go up. But given the uptick in demand to some extent during COVID, we were able to hold on to the pricing despite the raw material prices going down. Now, so that is as far as COVID is concerned, and not only COVID, even through the recessionary cycles, and we see that the world is getting into recession and the economies may not be doing so well in next 2 to 3 years. But as we are into consumer staple industry, we are for sure going to tide over this and come out as a strong performer. So that is one impact of COVID. Or let's say what impact it had on us, and actually it had none. On the other hand, COVID also has thrown up a lot of opportunities for the company. If we see there is a big shift towards online retailing, and this means there will be in coming years, in coming quarters, there will be a strong investment into technology. There will be an increase in usage of, let's say, mobile phones or computers to order material online. There will be more and more of video conferencing, as we are having set opportunity today on conference. And this also requires a lot of investment into technology, and a lot of Polyplex products actually go into technological products like mobile phones, LCD, LED screens, etc. So that is one positive spin out of how the global industry, consumer industry, will be restructured after COVID. Then there will be a lasting impact on how people look at food safety and personal hygiene, personal care. This is not going to change, and food safety and personal hygiene and personal care products will see a phenomenal growth in coming years, and a big product presence we have into packaging application, and this product line continues to grow not only in the standard films, also in the specialty films. So we will see that even post-COVID, we see a good future for our industry and our company.
ทางด้านของผลกระทบกับโควิดนะครับก็ทางด้านของท่านผู้บริหารนะครับบอกว่าทางด้านของการแพร่ระบาดของโควิด -19 นะครับไม่มีผลกระทบกับบริษัทนะครับทางด้านของบริษัทของเรานะครับเป็นบริษัทที่มุ่งเน้นนะครับในเรื่องของการที่จะเกี่ยวข้องกับทางด้านของนะครับก็มีเป็นทางด้านของอุตสาหกรรมที่เกี่ยวข้องนะครับก็ในส่วนของการทำบรรจุภัณฑ์ทั้งทางด้านของนะครับบรรจุภัณฑ์ที่ใช้ในการบรรจุอาหารนะครับและก็ ไม่ได้ใช้ในการบรรจุอาหารคือใช้ในการบรรจุผลิตภัณฑ์อื่นๆนะครับซึ่งก็เป็นทางด้านของอุตสาหกรรมที่เน้นนะครับในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับผลิตภัณฑ์สำหรับผู้บริโภคถึงแม้ว่าราคาของวัตถุดิบนะครับในช่วงเร็วๆนี้จะลดลงนะครับซึ่งควรจะส่งผลทำให้กับทางด้านของราคาของผลิตภัณฑ์ของเราลดลงนะครับแต่เนื่องจากในช่วงของการแพร่ระบาดโควิดนั้นความต้องการของผลิตภัณฑ์ของเรานั้นเพิ่มขึ้นนะครับทำให้ทางด้านของราคาของผลิตภัณฑ์ของเรานั้นสามารถที่จะคงตัวไว้ได้นะครับและเราก็มีการจับตามองนะครับในช่วงนะครับอีก 2-3 ปีข้างหน้าซึ่งมีการคาดการณ์นะครับในช่วงปี 2 ปีข้างหน้าซึ่งเศรษฐกิจนะครับอาจจะมีการหดตัวแต่อย่างไรก็แล้วแต่นะครับบริษัทนั้นก็กำลังจับตามองและก็จะพยายามที่จะปรับปรุงประสิทธิภาพอยู่ตลอดเวลานะครับเพื่อให้ผลประกอบการของเรานั้นดีครับและก็อีกข้อสังเกตอีกข้อหนึ่งนะครับเนื่องจากว่าในช่วงระหว่างโควิดนี้นะครับและก็หลังจากโควิดนี้ก็มีการลงทุนอย่างมากทีเดียวในเรื่องของเทคโนโลยีออนไลน์นะครับรวมทั้งในเรื่องของทางด้านของการลงทุนในเรื่องเกี่ยวข้องกับอุตสาหกรรมในเรื่องของการผลิตผลิตภัณฑ์สุขอนามัยและก็มุ่งเน้นในเรื่องของความปลอดภัยด้านอาหารด้วยเพราะฉะนั้นสิ่งนี้นะครับจะส่งผลดีให้กับบริษัทของเรานะครับทั้งในด้านของผลิตภัณฑ์ซึ่งเป็นทั้งแผ่นฟิล์มมาตรฐานและก็แผ่นฟิล์มเฉพาะทางด้วยครับ The next question is that can you forecast about the sales volume in the second half of this year, please?
Okay, so we do, as we have maintained in past that since inception, I would say, barring a few quarters, Polyplex lines have never stopped for want of orders. So even now, all our lines are running full, and we don't expect any loss of production due to lack of orders. So the sales, the growth in sales volume will only to the account of debottlenecking or ramping up of Indonesian capacity, which is already operating at almost 95% of the nameplate capacity.
ทางด้านของนะครับประมาณการยอดขายในปีหลังนะครับทางบริษัททางด้านท่านผู้บริหารได้เลยว่าสามารถพูดได้ว่าในช่วงครึ่งปีหลังนั้นนะครับก็ตั้งแต่ที่ผ่านมานะครับสายการผลิตของเรานั้นไม่เคยมีการหยุดการผลิตเลยนะครับเพราะฉะนั้นเนี่ยจะมีการหยุดการผลิตเพียงเล็กน้อยถ้าเป็นปัญหาในเรื่องของ bottlenecking เท่านั้นหรือว่าจะต้องมีการหยุดเพื่อในส่วนของการที่จะปรับปรุงประสิทธิภาพนะครับของสายการผลิตของเรานะครับให้สามารถที่จะมีกำลังการผลิตได้ดีขึ้นเท่านั้นครับ The next question yes talking about the and as you may see on the screen already and we would like to get your view on this on the question admiring your both market cap and the shareholders equity are elevating can you have more of the shows please and also the next one is says that they also admire your higher value the product mix can you link this to the capex mix and next one talk about they admire your innovation and your lower effective tax rate of 1% and also the expanding industry segment for sustainability can you give us your short answer for this please because we are running out of time.
So Pita, can you take this question?
Yeah, I think it's basically appreciation for the efforts that the company is making. We thank the investor for the same. And one of the suggestions is that since the shareholder equity is elevating and our market cap is also improving, can we have more road shows? We'll definitely consider that positively and actively engage with investors to provide more information on the industry, on the outlook and what we our strategic direction, which Kunamit has already updated to the investors in our today's presentation. So thank you for the comments.
ขอบคุณสำหรับคำชมนะครับเนื่องจากทางด้านของ Market Cap แล้วก็ทางด้านของนะครับส่วนของผู้ถือหุ้นของเรานะครับก็มีนะครับเพิ่มขึ้นขยับขึ้นมาในอัตราที่สูงขึ้นแน่นอนนะครับเราก็จะพยายามเตรียมความพร้อมในการที่จะมีรถโชว์มากขึ้นนะครับแล้วก็พยายามจะจัดหานะครับสิ่งดีๆนะครับซึ่งเป็นที่น่าสนใจสำหรับทางด้านของนักลงทุนและผู้ถือหุ้นครับขอบคุณมากครับ Thank you so much.
Yeah, on the screen, you would see there's a feedback survey that we would like the investors to scan the QR code and participate in the survey. This would help us to take your feedback and then improvise on our presentation. Thank you so much.
ขอบคุณมากนะครับขอให้ท่านผู้ถือหุ้นนะครับสแกน QR code นะครับเพื่อกรอกแบบสอบถามนะครับสำรวจความพึงพอใจของท่านนะครับใน Set Opportunity Day วันนี้ด้วยนะครับขอบคุณมากครับ